Hector and Hummingbird by Nicholas John Frith, a video lesson with Miss Glass. That's me. Graphics by Whimsy Clips. In our lessons lately, we've been talking about feelings. We've been talking about how our feelings change, sometimes by the minute. And we've been talking about why it's important to be able to think about our feelings and identify them. We also want to talk about how we can know how others are feeling. Here are some tips. Look at people's faces. Look at this guy. I bet you automatically said that he's happy, but how did you know? What is it about his face that shows you he's happy? Did you say his smile? Listening to people is another way to figure out how they're feeling. You should listen to what people say, but also how they say it. If you ask your friend how they are and they say, "I'm fine," that might be different than if they say, "I'm fine." Another thing you can do is look at people's bodies. Look at this girl. Look at how her arms are and her shoulders. This is something that we do when we're confused. Now, why does it matter? Good friends care about how others feel, and you want other people to care about how you feel. Talking about our feelings helps us. If you're feeling sad or nervous or worried, talking to somebody you trust can help you feel better. In today's story, Hector, this is Hector, and Hummingbird are going to have some feelings. So as you're watching, keep these questions in mind. How did Hector feel at the beginning of the story? How did his feelings change? What should Hummingbird have noticed about his friend? How can Hummingbird become a better friend to Hector? How can Hector be a better friend? Keep these things in mind as you listen. Hey, Roselawn Lions and anybody else who's listening. It's me, Miss Glass. Today, I'm going to read you a book that's super funny because I make really funny voices. But it's also a good book to help us learn how to figure out what other people are feeling. Especially right now when everything's so weird, it's really important that we pay attention to the people around us. As I'm reading, you should be thinking about the questions that I just asked. Now, before we get started, I need to shout out a ton of people because I've got so many friends who are watching these videos. It makes me so happy. So I'm going to say a bunch of names. If I miss anybody, send me a dojo and let me know because I'm not trying to leave anybody out. So, Tamar, Dominic, Kennedy, Charles, Julia, DeMarco. Whew, there's so many of you that are just doing a great job. MJ, Mackenzie, Matthew. I am hearing so many kids talking to me about these videos. To Larry. I know, so many of you. If I miss somebody, let me know, okay? Let's jump into the book. I think you're really going to like this story. Hector and Hummingbird by Nicholas John Frith. Deep in the mountains of Peru lived a bear called Hector and a hummingbird called Hummingbird. They were the best of friends, mostly. But sometimes Hector got cross with Hummingbird. Whenever Hector just wanted a nice, quiet snack, Hummingbird wouldn't stop talking.
Hey, Hector, is this a custard apple? I love custard apples. I'm going to eat this one. Oh no, I'm going to eat that one. Shall I eat your one, Hector? Hector!
Whenever Hector wanted a nice, quiet scratch on a tree, Hummingbird wouldn't stop copying him.
Hey, Hector, are you scratching? I'm going to scratch too. Aw, you got the scratchiest tree. Look, I'm the best scratcher, aren't I? Hector? Hector!
And whenever Hector just wanted a nice quiet nap in the branches, Hummingbird wouldn't leave him alone.
Hey, Hector, are you asleep? Shall I sleep too? Move over. Actually, no, I'm not really sleepy. Shall I tell you a story? I tell really good stories. Hector? Hector!
One day, Hector had had enough. "Arrgh!" cried Hector. "Leave me alone!" Hector stomped off into the jungle. "I'm going to find a bit of peace and quiet." Hummingbird was sad. He'd never known Hector was cross with him. He decided he'd better follow and find out why.
Hey, Hector, what's peace and quiet? Is it in the jungle? Can I help look for it?
"Stop following me," said Hector. "I want to be on my own." So, Hummingbird stopped following him. Mostly. Hector walked deep into the jungle. At last he was on his own. He felt very excited, but a little bit odd. Maybe he was just hungry. So, Hector picked a custard apple and sat down to have a nice, quiet snack. The fruit was sweet and delicious, but it felt funny eating it on his own. Hummingbird would really like this custard apple, thought Hector. Next, Hector found what looked like the scratchiest tree in the jungle. He settled down to have a nice, quiet scratch. But it felt funny scratching on his own. Hummingbird would love scratching on this tree, sighed Hector. Dark fell, and Hector settled down for a nap. The jungle was noisy at night and a little bit scary. Hector couldn't sleep. Arr, squawk, squeak, eek. "I wish Hummingbird were here," sniffed Hector. "He could tell me a story."
A story? Yay! You should have said. I love telling stories. Once upon a time.
"Hummingbird!" cried Hector. "You're here! I missed you!"
I missed you too, except I was here all along.
"Here all along?" said Hector. "I thought I told you not to follow me."
But why?
"Because you never stop talking.
I'm just being friendly.
And you're always copying me."
You always have really good ideas.
"Oh," said Hector. "Really?" Just then, Hector had his best idea yet. Hummingbird, can you copy me now by being really, really quiet?
Absolutely!
And he did. Mostly.
Hey, Hector, this is fun, isn't it? We're being really, really quiet, aren't we? I love being quiet, don't you? Hector? Hector!
Alright guys, now that you've heard the story, it's time to turn and talk to whoever you're listening with. I'll read the questions again so that you can remember them. How did Hector feel at the beginning of the story? How did his feelings change? What should Hummingbird have noticed about Hector? How can Hummingbird be a better friend to Hector? How can Hector become a better friend? Pause the video right now and talk to your people. Now, maybe you said that Hummingbird should have noticed that Hector was getting mad. I think you're right. There were some pages in the book that showed that Hector was feeling pretty upset even before he went off on his own. That's a good clue that he's mad. But so is this. Look at his face. Maybe these are clues that Hummingbird should have noticed. But you know what? Maybe Hector could have done something better too. What if Hector had told Hummingbird how he felt? What if, instead of bottling everything up inside until he exploded, what if Hector had said, "Hey, Hummingbird, it really bothers me that you won't stop talking"? It's important that we talk to other people about our feelings, especially right now. Things are a little weird right now, and you might have a lot of feelings going on inside of you. And guess what? It's totally okay. What I'm hoping that you're doing is being open and talking to people you trust about how you feel. Because if you bottle all your feelings up like Hector did, eventually you're going to explode, and it's not pretty. Well, you guys are doing a great job this week. I have heard so many good things from your grown-ups about how hard you're working at home. So keep up the great work, you guys. I miss you. I love you. Mwah.